Hello. We'll have to wait for everybody to join, but hi, friends, and hi to everybody watching this back. So, um, I'll wait for everyone to join, but basically, if you're watching this back, this is a weird internet party, which we do every single 10K my webcomic hits. So, thank you for 40K subscribers on What Sexual. What? That's pretty nuts, though. Pretty crazy. Okay, a couple people are here. Hi, Bronte. I don't know if you're still here, but you sent just eh. I don't know if that's like an A, like hey, what's up, or an eh. I'm gonna take it as an eh, because I was like 2 minutes late. I should also post on Instagram to get all of us weirdos on here. I wish. Hi. Hello. Um, I forgot to ask you last time. Do you want me to use your username or your name? But hello. It says there's 0 of you, but there's people in the chat, so I think YouTube's a liar, but what's new? Okay, I'm gonna take a picture of you and post it to Instagram. There we go. Well, not fully on Instagram, just just on my story. Ta-da. Hi, friends. Happy Saturday. We're having a weird internet party, but there's no music that I can play that won't get flagged, so I'm sorry. This is a very interesting party. And I could always draw, but okay, Lucas, I will use your real name. I didn't know if you, like, some people, they have usernames and then I'll call them that and then they're like, I thought you knew my real name, and I'm like, oh no. Because, like, other people I know just want me to use their username. I feel like that's more of a thing that we used to do in the past rather than now. But who knows? I don't know. Yeah. So we hit 40K on What Sexual, and a party was necessary. I can't even believe that. It's really crazy. I think we hit it because what's not my comic. Webtoon had like a Webtoon Canvas week, and then I think they featured on what like they I can't talk today. What's happening? They featured What Sexual on multiple um things, like lists of comics. So I think that that's how everyone found it. Hi, Lamar Surrender. How are you? You've been coming to my live streams for years. Actually, all of you that have chatted so far have, which is really crazy. I need to make more YouTube videos. I said that last time, and I really mean it this time. I'm growing my hair out, and I have decided to just let it look crazy, so I'll just film myself while I look crazy. So what do you want to see? Tell me now, and then I will listen to your requests. Otherwise, I will just make whatever the heck I want, I guess. I have this giant water bottle again. Did I have this last time too? It looks like some major alcohol or something, but it's just water, I swear. I don't even drink. Yeah, so I would like to hear how you all are. How are you holding up? Things are pretty wild, especially in Los Angeles. And Bronte just shrugs. That's okay. I'll make something entertaining either way, I guess. Well, I hope that it'll be entertaining. I don't know. had some ideas, but they were all very like intense videos, so I was like, I'm not sure about this, but I mean, maybe that's just the mood right now. I write scripts for my videos, but I never end up following them anymore unless they're like a story and I have to remember what the details are, but they're never a full script of like, oh, I have to say this. It's more of just notes that I go off of. I know people have full on scripts though, which is pretty useful. But I guess it's not the same vibe. Yeah, and what sexual, by the way, is almost done. Lucas knows that from Patreon. Oh, it's so weird. I haven't been feeling that great though, so I haven't finished it. But I need to, and I want to. But then it's also like, oh my god, then what? The future is so uncertain, everybody. Yeah, I don't know if everyone's busy today. Lucas says, my work life is a sitcom and my home life is a soap opera. Oh no. I'm very sorry. Is it like slapstick comedy type of sitcom or like that type of drama where it's just ridiculous? That sounds very stressful though. I've just been in a very interesting bubble of writing and writing. I I don't know if you want to be disturbed with how much I have been writing. I do have more news with that. When did I last stream? In November? Yeah, that was when I was finishing the other novel. The Mars Surrender says, not the soap opera. Yeah, that's like probably not the best vibe. The second one, okay. That sounds very stressful. I'm sorry. Do you have anyone that you can hang on to for some measure of sanity? Because I feel like that's the only way to get through certain jobs. The people. But sometimes it's the people causing the problems. Very sorry if that was loud. I knocked my chapstick over. But if I stop talking, then my Yeti mic just like gets louder. It just makes everything very loud. It's trying to equalize the volume. I'm gonna take this sweater off. But yeah, I don't know what happened to my brain. Sorry, that was a very weird sentence to just... and I forgot everything I was gonna say after. It's too late for sanity. I'm sorry, Lucas. I understand, apparently, according to what I just said. Was that like an and I, as in like, and I, and then you just like, your sentence cuts off, or was it just you accidentally pressed enter? Because I feel that on both accounts. But yeah, I just started writing. I've pretty much have been doing nothing else. That's all I'm kind of interested in doing. I'll draw a comic page and then I'll do like elaborate illustrations here and there, but otherwise I've just been writing. So I finished one novel. I took like a week and a half off, but not really, because I started writing another one, and I started writing the second one for the first novel that I finished, and then If any of you remember Chronic Nightmare Syndrome is my first comic, then I was like, yeah, this is too much to make as a comic. And I didn't really like how I did all of the it was too confusing. So I turned it into a novel. Then I rewrote all these other novels. This was like years ago now. So on January 9th, I was like January 9th, 2021, by the way. I was like, I should redo this whole thing, but from earlier on in their lives, because originally the comic was like, you didn't understand what was happening because you had to kind of go back in time with them and figure out the past and the present. And so now I just made it so you start at the beginning of the journey with them, which makes it more of a tragedy, which is very emotionally intense. But I started writing it on January 9th when I realized that, and I literally am finishing it. Like, I'm writing the last chapter. Last night, I was like, oh my god, I'm at the end of this novel. And it's like 97,000 words or something, and it's January 30th. Like, I don't think that's supposed to happen. I don't think that's very healthy, but it happened. Maybe it's because I know the story well. Maybe it's because something happened in my brain where it just like exploded, like what happened when I was started drawing Resonance, if anyone remembers that. It just unlocked a new level. Lucas says, I mean, I have no chance for sanity in my life, but I embrace that. Okay, yeah, same. We're on the same wavelength here. Yeah, I mean, hopefully you can find some ways to introduce some self-care. That's the only way to survive sometimes. And I was joking with my friend, I don't know if you remember him, but I've done multiple collabs with him on this channel. This was like years ago. My friend June, he goes by Impulsive Toby or June. So one's a username, one's a name, speaking of that. But yeah, he was like, oh my god, this is a vent novel instead of vent art. Because like, I don't know, there's this thing among artists where we just draw vent art. It's just like a term, if you haven't heard of it. It's just if you feel like venting but you don't know how, you just draw it. Like you draw something that is vent-y, so maybe you just torture your character. And so he was like, yeah, that's what that novel is. I was like, oh my god, you're right. This is completely what Chronic Nightmare Syndrome is. Just a whole vent novel. Yeah, but it's an interesting time. I'm gonna probably start writing the second one. Someone needs to stop me. Just kidding. I need to edit all these too. But usually when I finish writing, then I'll just go back and edit them like a month or two later, where I've kind of forgotten what I wrote because it's been some time. I just stopped thinking about it. I feel like that's the best way to edit. I'm still terrified of choking. That has never changed. Like on a live stream. Ah. But yeah, I'm sorry that things are so hectic. I'm sure they're really crazy for everybody. You vent by doing crazy stuff in the wood shop. Hopefully that doesn't involve accidentally like shaving your fingers down to the bone with a grinder or something. uh, Piggy Pay says, would you ever make / buy a long Furby? I don't know what that is, but I'm kind of terrified. So probably no. Is that like, I don't know. I just remember someone posting some type of meme with like a bunch of Furby skins in the sink. So that's all I'm that's all I'm picturing. Do you just somehow morph all of them together to make one giant one? Please look it up. I will look it up later and let you know what I think. I could make a very dumb video about it, but that would be a very weird way to come back to making videos on YouTube. But maybe that's what we're here for. I don't know. There's always something interesting going on in the chat that, like, someone tells me about. It's a Furby that's been made longer, so everyone knows about this except for me, apparently. Okay. I mean, I'll take your word for it, and I'll look it up. I'll look up the long boys. Yeah. I'm not gonna do it on stream just in case. You never know what Google will show you. Bronte says that sounds so freaky. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel right now. Except for sometimes I like weird stuff. But again, like I said, you never know what Google will show you when you look something up. So I can't look it up on stream. You have one that's 5'3", so basically me. Am I the long Furby? I feel like, yeah, I kind of have the eyes of a Furby. They're just very large. I'm not doing myself any favors right now. Oh, Jesus. I'm trying to contain myself. That's a different type of furry. Very different. River the long Furby. I would have blue hair if I wanted. I mean, if I could. If I was a Furby. What is even happening right now? I just can't stop thinking about that. So I have no other tangents to go on to keep you entertained. Just looked it up, kind of want one now. Okay, I'll look one up without showing you this screen. Oh, so you just make a snake. That's like a little dragon Furby. Okay, I'm here for it. Apparently, like, the first thing I saw... Hang on. I can show you this. This is safe. This isn't big enough. I'm sorry. Let me make this screen bigger. Oh. Yeah, that didn't work. Come on, OBS. Yeah, do you see this right here? Because that is the first thing I saw. Apparently someone likes to breed their Furbies. These are a bunch of long? Hang on, let me move the screen to... Oh my god, what did I do? What is this? Oh, I see what was happening. I was looking at the wrong screen. Okay, forgive me. Yeah, this is what I was talking about that I saw first, which is an interesting introduction. Now we all know what long Furbies are. I guess now I know. Apparently everybody else knew. Someone just made a Furby snake and now that's a thing. It's a snake. I've decided for you. I like this one though. Here, I'll switch it back. I like this one. That one feels like it has a unicorn vibe, you know what I mean? But this one scares me. We'll put that away. Sorry. If I laugh too much, I'll get asthma. It's a good time. Hi, Purpon. Welcome back to this channel. I'm very sorry if you had to join right when I was discovering what a long Furby was. I find them weirdly endearing now that I've had a minute to process, but it seems like people intentionally make them very odd. I don't know. I've seen some pretty weird things, so I don't know if my reaction was anything worth watching. So you didn't miss much. Hi, Jess. Hello. This filter, I feel like, makes my forehead look really shiny. Let me move this. I think it's this. Yeah. There we go. Maybe. Yeah. It was just the light was only on my forehead. Maybe not the best idea. I was just taking a moment to space out and think about shiny foreheads. I don't even feel like my forehead is shiny. Julissa said, I don't know who you are, but joined. It feels right. Okay, welcome. Welcome to the Weirdo Fam. We're all pretty gay, or pretty weird, or both. But not in the type of weird where you're like... But in the type of weird where you're like... Yeah, you're weird like me. You're not a normal human being. Like, my friends genuinely wonder if I came down from another planet. Wait, when did I describe? Did you just... Okay, I have, like... This is another thing we should be celebrating. I hit 2,000 subscribers on this channel without even trying because one of my videos is, like, in everybody's recommended box. It's the one where I, what's it called? It's like altering alternative clothes, but it's not, that's not the title. It's like 10 tips in 5 minutes or something. That video that I did where we cut up a shirt together and I taught you how to put studs in things. I'm pretty sure that's where everybody came from. So I was going to make a second one because it's my most liked video, but I have to buy a shirt to destroy. I actually might go and do something to a shirt that I already have that I don't like. Maybe that will be something new and interesting. You have an hour till you need to be in class. Oh, okay, cool. Well, thanks for joining us. And thanks for the congrats. I don't remember if I said that. I already forgot if I did, but thank you. And thanks for subscribing. We always have fun on these live streams. We just talk about random stuff. The first video you watched of mine was actually a live stream. How was it? Oh, okay. So it must have been from my comic, I'm assuming. And then you're like, oh, he's doing a live stream. And then, because otherwise I don't know how people find when people have gone live. Your play performance is coming up. You're getting nervous. Yeah, I think the best thing to do when you feel nervous for something like that is to just practice your heart out, and then you'll feel prepared. Usually that's where it comes from. But when it comes to like stage stuff, I don't get nervous for some weird reason unless I have to sing. Sometimes I would just get anticipatory anxiety. I can never say that word correctly. There's a lot of words that I know how to type, but I don't know how to say. Like, I know how to spell. I mean, yeah, you get what I mean. I know, Jess, I'm gonna watch. Don't you worry. That's in a couple weeks, right? Yeah, a week and a half, maybe. When this water bottle is full, I have to use two hands, and I feel like an actual child. Having to drink with two hands. It just looks like I'm tiny all of a sudden, but it's just a huge water bottle. It's like 2 pints or something. Yeah, 2 pints and 1 ounce. 1 fluid ounce. February 26th. Oh, okay, it's in a month. Maybe I was thinking of something else. Cool. Yeah, the concept of time has completely disappeared this past year. But I will be there. River's adult sippy cup, literally though. Oh my god. My friend bought me a sippy cup because I kept spilling things. Sometimes I like get on my bed in a really crazy way and I like kick my water off of the bedside table, but it's actually like a dresser next to my bed. Yeah, that's not a good time. Other times I would like accidentally hit stuff, and I actually got this sketchbook right here. You can hardly see it, just maybe the corner of it. I got it wet, which was terrifying because, let me show you. This particular sketchbook has, first of all, this is a major spoiler, so let's move off of it. But as you can see, it has all of my comics sketches. Wait, yeah, there's the only blank pages, but it just goes on forever and ever and ever. This is just Resonance, by the way. And yeah, that's the start of Resonance. So it's on the front and back side of everything because they're just sketches, so who cares? And then this is What Sexual on this side. And then this is even more Resonance on this side. Wait, hang on, I totally missed it. There's like some blank, it looks like blank papers, but it's actually because I just drew on the back. So then this is He's My Celebrity Crush. Yeah, I got this thing wet and it was absolutely terrifying because it has literally everything I've sketched in here. All of it I just take pictures of as soon as I'm done, at least, but kind of want to keep the originals. Valentine's Day. Oh yes, I've heard a lot of people feel the same way. But this is a weird time where I think it's probably a good time to what am I saying? Oh, do things that you want to do, because once you're dating somebody, your time gets split up differently and your whole schedule changes. So I feel like it's a good time to be like, I have this project that I want to do and I need to spend like 5 million hours on by myself. Because you're forced to be by yourself in quarantine or whatever. Oh, I guess you'll have to pick one thing, Jess. If the performance is the same day, which I would pick the performance if I was you. But maybe there are different times. Or are they not? I don't think my friend Layla is here, but I like forgot to give them these really cute llama stickers. So now I have them like it's now my excuse to mail a card. But I wish stickers weren't so expensive. But they are expensive to make when I make them myself. The performance is at 5. When's the other thing? 5:30. Uh-oh. Maybe you could come after the performance a little late, unless it only lasts for 30 minutes. Oh, hi, Cardo. How did your appointment go? I hope you can rest well after that. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, we were just chatting about random stuff that we've been doing. Valentine's Day coming up, which I don't know what to do for. I feel like I have to draw things for every holiday. Jess, you should have a Zoom with your friends on your actual birthday. I don't even remember what I did on my birthday. I just hung out with my family at home and we ate food together. So we have to cook everything ourselves because I have all these food allergies and autoimmune stuff. So I literally haven't left the house since March except for like 5 times, and those 5 times I went to the chiropractor, and then I stopped going to the chiropractor even though I really need it. I don't know, Jess, you should private message me if we're going to talk about people, because we don't want to talk about other people on a public thing, okay? But yeah, I don't know. I feel like that's kind of how my last year was anyways, just working from home, but it's still very different because like I could go outside. But LA is like 1 in 3 people are have COVID, so okay, sounds good, Jess. Oh, thanks for coming, Bronte. I hope you have fun watching anime. I want to know what anime you're going to watch, but you probably have to go. Thanks for joining, though. That's cool that your mom watches with you. My dad and I watch stuff. Like, we had Julia, so that's exactly what I was thinking. um, my dad and I watched all of Attack on Titan together, like literally from the first week it came out, because we were obsessed. I don't know. And then we watched all of season 3. That's what we thought. But season 3 apparently was like one of those 2-season anime, like where it has a fall and a winter or something, and then like the episodes are split into 2, but it's all joined into 1 season. So we thought we finished the first season, but we only watched the first half, and we didn't know this, so we started watching the final season of season 4, which is just starting like last month, and then it literally made no sense. So we were just sitting there, we watched the entire 24-minute anime, and then at the very end I was like, oh my god, did I just forget everything that happened? Like, what am I going to say? And my dad just turns to me and he's like, I have no idea what's going on. And I was like, thank God. And so we literally spent an hour trying to figure out why. And we couldn't figure out why. We went back to the beginning of the first season. And there's this episode, like, at the end of I'm sorry, the beginning of the third season, but there's this episode at the end of the third season where one of the characters is like remembering something that happened at the beginning. So we're like, yeah, we watched this, but it was just a memory. And then we eventually realized, like, oh, there are like lines where we could see on Hulu of what we had watched, and we hadn't watched all of the second half of season 3. So then we watched them. So yeah, it took us like 2 hours to watch 2 episodes. And we missed some like extremely, extremely important stuff. It was a time. Unfortunately, that means we're spoiled on who survives because, yeah, I won't go on about that. But that was an epic fail. Sorry. I was just reading the chat and I got so distracted I forgot to speak. Yeah, Jess, we'll talk about that later. But everybody's gonna watch here. So we'll let you know what you think. It's still a month away, so we've got time to figure it out. But yeah, that's one anime. There's too many that I really want to watch right now, and I keep forgetting to. I don't even know. I've been reading people's novels, like web novels. Cardo says this is why if I don't watch a show from the debut, I don't watch it until it's complete. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that's the thing, because we thought we watched it. Like, we watched it every week that it came out of season 3, but we thought it ended. But it was one of those things where they had a middle, like, climax and resolution of this story arc, but then not the big story arc. So there's another arc starting in the second half, and we just literally thought it was the end of the third season, so we didn't keep watching. Because we were watching every week as it came out originally. But now I guess we have more to catch up on before we catch up to the week that it comes out. It was still an epic fail. But yeah, other than that, I watched Tokyo Ghoul from the debut until it got to the second season. I mean, I finished the whole second season every week that it came out, but it was like the opposite. I've talked about this on this channel because I'm sorry, I just always rant about it. It's my favorite story. But yeah, they went off the rails and did the exact opposite thing of what the main character would do in the manga, and it made 0 sense. I was so mad, but I still watched it every single week. But then I didn't watch the second one because of that, because it was a completely different story. Oh, you stopped watching Riverdale because you missed 1 week. Oh no. Would you ever watch it now that is it done? I thought it was done. I don't know. I only watched a little bit. So don't freak out if it's not done and I just freaked you out. My head is really sore for some reason. I don't know what's happening. But yeah, lately I've just been reading instead of watching stuff, but I I've been writing so fast that I can read too fast, and then I just finish things, and then I don't have anything left to read. And books are expensive. I don't know. You don't think it's done? Yeah, I mean, I don't know why they would end it. They'd probably just keep making reasons why it has to continue because it's popular. That's what they always do. But one of my friends and I, we watch The Magicians. It's like a sci-fi show, like literally from the channel Sci-Fi and Sci-Fi show. And it's kind of dark. It reminds me a little bit of Chronic Nightmare Syndrome that I was finishing writing, which I literally can't believe still. But yeah, since more people and different people are here, thank you again, everybody who has subscribed to my webcomic, What Sexual, because there's 40,000 subscribers now, which is completely wild, and I love it, because, I don't know, it's really nice to see everybody supporting something and supporting a comic with a trans main character. I think that's pretty cool. Like, for me, it just shows how many people out there are accepting, which is a really nice reminder. And it's just a fictional story. This is why fiction matters. There's an ant on you. Good thing it didn't crawl over the screen. Didn't they make a spin-off? I don't know, did they? That sounds familiar, but I don't know what it is. And thank you. Yes, I did do that comic. Is that where you found me? Maybe that is where. That's funny. Yeah, that's the comic that I'm finishing right now. Very slowly, unfortunately. You actually thought there was an ant? I'm sorry. Oops. I found a coin and then I dropped it. I'm sorry. No, there was an ant like crawling on top of the webcam. Oh, thanks for finding me on there. Well, finding me here from finding me on there. There's an ant on the microphone. We're just like, we're living on an anthill and we don't use pesticides. We just use natural stuff. So sometimes when it rains, like yesterday it rained a lot, and so the ants all come inside because they get flushed out or something. I don't know. I should look up why, but it happens every single time. But yeah, I think most of the, like half of the people on this channel are from my comic and stuff. The other half are from YouTube somehow. Well, probably not half, maybe like 25%. And then the last 25% is from that video, the alternative video. Alternative clothing. Let me see what it was called. Because, yeah, I don't know. I don't remember. Yeah, it's called, this is probably why, it's because it has a clickbaity title, but I made sure it was accurate. 10 tips in 5 minutes, plus tutorial DIY alternative clothing. Wow, that's a mouthful of a title. 2 years ago me, what, what is going on? But it worked, I guess. It worked. I don't know. There was actually 10 tips in 5 minutes. When I was editing, I was like, this is not going to be clickbait. I had to try and narrow it down to 5 minutes because it sounded better than like 6 minutes or something, you know? That was an editing journey. But yeah, I still don't make any money on this channel at all. and I can't. I have to, because they just keep raising the bar. So even if you have the amount of subscribers that you need, which I do, you have to have a certain amount of watch time per year, which you would need like a lot more subscribers to ever get, or a viral video, but then that means you'd have to keep it up every year too. So yeah, that's probably part of why I haven't posted on here very much. That'd be really weird if you had an ant on you actually, but I just said there's an ant on you and I didn't know. But really there's an ant on my desk. There's ants everywhere. There's not a lot though. There's just they're just roaming around making everything very uncomfortable, I guess. What I really, really hate is that, like, they come for my water cups sometimes, and I don't know, and I'll take a drink, and it'll just be on my lip. It's really not a good time. Not what I would think of as a good time. Wait, would you like to say an embarrassing story? I have so many embarrassing stories that I don't know what to choose from. It's like, I don't know, like, they don't come into my brain because everything must be embarrassing. Let me try to think of something. I probably need, like, a category to narrow it down to. Turn it into a drama channel. God. Yeah, I know, right? I do feel like everyone's channel is turning into that in a way. Sometimes I'll watch one or two of those, but they're very rare, and then I always feel very gross after. Ants want a vibe too. You're right, they're just fellow weirdos. I should have thought of that. Embarrassing story. People don't like stories about poop, but I have Crohn's disease, so that's all I have for you. That's the only thing I can think of off the top of my head. I feel like I've told it before somewhere, like some of them. There's one that I can't tell you, but there's one from when I was younger, which you'd probably survive. But see, not everyone joined a live stream to listen to that story. So I was gonna maybe one day make a video about that. Because why not? I mean, it's just part of life. My friend and I talk about this all the time because we both have, like, I have a lot of friends who are chronically ill also. So we just talk about these things very freely, and I forget how much other people don't. So I was going to make a video talking about that. That plus some interesting stories, because apparently people love those. And also, I feel like if a hater tried to embarrass me because I poop, I'd be like, okay. Like, why? Like, I wouldn't care if they knew that story. Because, it's not embarrassing. I don't know. It's just in that category of embarrassing to other people, though. I mean, there's some pretty weird things I've done in my lifetime. I just can't think of them. Let me actually text my friend and say, please remind me. Can you help me think of an embarrassing story for YouTube? I'm on a live stream and I can't think of one. My friend and I, like this same friend, we've just been talking about embarrassing stories recently, but I feel like most of them were theirs. So I can't remember anybody else's. Sometime I'll be able to remember though. I'm determined. I'm trying to think, like, have I embarrassed myself on a live stream before? Or in class or something? Like in front of a bunch of people? I feel like it's just part of life. It's just stored in the same brain category as everything else because I'm just that weird, I guess. Like to the point where my family, like if I do something strange, like I don't know what I'll do, I'll just come into the kitchen and do something weird. They'll not even like react because that's just how I am. There's always a first, says Lamar Surrender. Yes. I mean, I know I've done embarrassing things, but like it just doesn't stick in my brain as that. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it's because it's not 3 a.m. and I'm not contemplating life heavily. I also feel like I've shared so many weird stories on YouTube that I don't know what else is gonna top it. I mean, I have other weird stories that have happened, but I just need to. Let me see if I have them stored, because I have some notes that I've written for video ideas later on. Let's see. Where in the world did I leave them? This is a big list. I guess I don't know where I put them. I swear there was some others. Well, apparently not. Yeah, I feel like last time I already told an embarrassing story about like the Chipotle and like when I was trying to drink something while I was at Chipotle and I burped and choked. I feel like I said that, like talked about it on the last live stream. Notes for my memoir? Yes. No. I've had many people be like, you should write a memoir. And then I was like, I don't want to do the work. I'm fine with writing fictional stories because I apparently just wrote a 95,000 words one in 20 days, but I don't know why I don't feel like writing a memoir. But yeah, one of my friends, actually the same friend that I messaged, they were like, you should just pay someone to write it. And I was like, I love that idea. When I'm like 50, I'll pay somebody. Just kidding. If I'm that old, I will pay it. I mean, that's not even old, but what I'm saying is if I'm older, because I feel like a 25-year-old is too young to write a memoir, even though I've had a lot of things happen in my life that don't normally happen to 25 or younger people. But yeah. Trying to think of any others that I've had. Like, I feel like my brain just goes to medical stuff. Like, there's this really. I don't even think 50 is very old. So I don't think 42 is very old at all. You're 14. I didn't I didn't mean that 50 was old. But what I'm saying is that I'm an actual baby. So compared to being a baby, anything is old. You know what I mean? Yeah. Um there was this one time where I could have been wait. Yeah, my friend thought of the same embarrassing story that I thought of, but it's the one about poop that I was saying I don't think everyone signed up for today. So if you want to hear it, you have to ask for it. I am a baby. But yeah, um, one time I went to the chiropractor and like this was like a year ago, and I had just gotten my blood drawn, uh, and my veins, I don't know why my veins explode. Like, they've gotten better after testosterone because they got, like, it thickens your blood vessels or something. I forget what I'm saying. I'm sorry, I'm not in the medical mindset today. But when you get your blood drawn, sometimes it just, like, if you don't leave the thing on for long enough, your vein could still explode eventually. So I took the band-aid off because I felt like I didn't need it. It wasn't even a band-aid, it was just like that tape, and I'm allergic to almost every tape, so I rip it off if they don't use like the stretchy gauze. They didn't use that, so I ripped the tape off. I went to chiropractic after I got my blood drawn, and then he was like looking at my arm and looking at it very suspiciously, and I was like, what is going on? And I looked down and my vein like had a little like it gets like a little ball in it when it starts to explode, and then it's like bleeding a little bit again. And then he was like really freaked out by the blood. And he was acting like it was, yeah, like it was something horrific. I was like, I think we live very different lives, sir. And he like got out an alcohol swab and like gave it to me and was didn't even want to touch me. And I was like, okay, I'll just clean up this drop of blood on my arm. It felt like one of those things where he wanted me to be embarrassed almost. Not intentionally, but he was like, man, you should really clean that up. Like, it felt like he thought it was dirty. You know what I mean? It was one of those times. But I thought it was hilarious. Because I was like, you touch people's spines through their skin, but you can't handle one drop of blood. Some people are just like that, though. I like saying explode better. We all know that I use that word too much. Bring it. Maybe that, maybe that could be an embarrassing story. I need a second. I'm gonna laugh so hard that I cry. Oh my god. If you don't know what happened, I don't blame you. I'm gonna need a second to fully recover. I can't even describe. I think I just had spit in my throat. That noise is just what got me real hard. I'm desperately trying to calm myself. It's from laughing. I'm okay. I was gonna say, but yeah, the correct term is collapse. Oh my god. Now my nose is running because I'm crying from laughing. I don't know if anyone else thought that was funny, but I did. everything's okay now. Or is it? Uh, when I laugh, I don't just get asthma, I get like a lot of phlegm in my lungs. I must be stirring my lungs up because they have trouble. Some people think that they didn't finish developing because I was born early. I don't really know what I think, other than that they need some help sometimes. So I don't think that they process things as easily. And I'm just stirring up what's stuck in there for like a long time by laughing too hard. uh, I'm very sorry for everybody who had to see that and has no idea what's going on. I feel like that's just a good example. A good example of my life. Everything's fine. We're all okay. At least I didn't actually choke or something. You need to walk your pet fish and snake. Well, thank you for coming. Thanks for chatting too. I hope you have a good day also. Bye for now. You were ready for the world, but my body wasn't. Okay, yes. In a million ways, yes. God. I am definitely always, like, I finish things too quickly, so that must have just been a sign of what I was like for the rest of my life. What I was going to be like for the rest of my life. When I was an actual baby. Nothing has changed. Because I'm still a baby. But Lamar says I'm the baby, so... Measuring yourself. Are you saying that you need chiropractic? Or are you saying... Do you feel like you're the wrong size? Because the wrong size doesn't exist. As long as you're taking care of yourself, then your size is the correct size. Trying to calm myself. It's just that noise keeps repeating in my head. The one that I made. I haven't gone back to that chiropractor because he didn't change his mask for, I don't know, like 9 months or something. I don't know. So my mom and I were like, because we both go together, we were like, yeah, maybe we'll just not, because LA started just exploding with the virus. And it hasn't stopped. It's really not safe. And they said, like, basically, if you go outside, just consider yourself exposed. And I can't risk that because, as I just said, my lungs need some help. But yeah, I did need the chiropractor too. If we're just getting on a tangent of how weird my body is apparently after I made a weird sound with my throat and then started crying and now my nose is dripping. And now, yeah, but he had to fix me because my rib cage was like it like pushed forward and sticking out on this right side. It was just like that all the time. All of my doctors noticed and they were like, what? But it fixed itself after he fixed my alignment. Could be a drinking game. Every time you say explode, take a drink. Did I say explode? What did I say exploded this time? Was it my lungs? No. I don't want those to explode. I mean, my nose is dripping, but it's not exploding. Now you're gonna have to be annoyed with me clearing my throat this whole time. Maybe I was doing that all along and I just never noticed. Very sorry if that's the case. uh, yeah, I hear you, Jess. Oh, I said it's exploded. Okay, well, you know what? That's an actual accurate term. In a very unfortunate way. Yeah, there's like no way to know to not know multiple people who have it if you live here. It's very crazy times. I feel like now this live stream has changed in my brain. I'm like wondering what weird thing my body's going to do next. That's just part of life. I'm gonna probably go clip that and make like a music video out of that sound that I made. You've been doing Zumba and yoga. Well, that sounds good. I have like all sorts of things here, and I cannot help myself with fidgeting. Do you remember when you couldn't say COVID on YouTube or you'd get demonetized? I'm pretty sure that's still somewhat of a thing. Like, your thing will automatically just pop up with a message that has information about it. But did you hear that? That was my throat. I can't even be monetized if I wanted to. So too bad for them. I probably wouldn't say it in like a recorded video because I don't know. I'll have to look up why they're doing that again and if they have any new rules on it or not. But yeah. Everything on Instagram, even if you type it, it's like marked with a message. I'll stop myself. But yeah, so I need to plan what to draw for Valentine's Day, which I have no idea. Lately, I have been taking the time to draw illustrations rather than rush through them, and they look very different from my comics because my comics, I don't allow myself more than like an hour maximum for a panel, and that's very painful because you have to have like at least 5 panels per page, and then if you want to update on Webtoon, everyone's mad and salty about it unless you post at least 8 panels. And so that's like, yeah, I don't get paid enough for that. So to make up for it, I just save time by drawing really fast and not making it look like incredible or something, but I've been doing illustrations and giving myself as much time as I need to. Apparently I still only need like 5 hours maximum, but usually like 2.5, and it looks extremely different It feels like people didn't even know that I could draw still. It's a very sad time. Not having enough time. But I started drawing something and then I made something with like tons of buildings in the background, and then I was like, why did I do that? Now I have to draw all of the insides and the outsides and lamp posts and trash cans and trees on the sidewalk and people and cars. That's the worst one. You've been doing fitness with... That's pretty cool. A Zoom fitness class. Yeah, my mom and sibling do yoga, like through... I don't know what it is. It's like some type of class, but it's just a bunch of videos. I don't know if it's on YouTube or if it's like a class that they bought. I'll have to ask them, but it looks pretty fun, and it doesn't seem like it takes more than like 30 minutes or something, which is kind of nice. Oh, man. I've been sitting in this chair for too long. But yeah. I only have, let me think. I only have, I think, like 12 comic pages left to draw or something. Like, I should just get them done. There are just some times where you just really can't force yourself, and I'd rather not force myself, especially with the ending of something, because I need to be, like, focused on if it's good or if it's, like, if I need to change it, because it's the end, you know? Rather than forcing myself to just power through it, because that's kind of just like you space out and just draw. Lucas said, I envy you, I can't draw people. Yeah, it took a long time. Like, here, let's look at my old comic right now. I have to log in to Tapas, because I'm not logged in on there. It'll take a second. I have to move your chat over so I can see it. Do I have time to get on TikTok? I might be able to do that. I am pretty busy, but I feel like that's easier to make a short video. It's just for some reason, am not like I don't like Twitter, and I don't like things like that where it just feels like weirdly viral. Okay, you're about to see my old comic, and I will show you exactly what I mean by it taking time to learn how to draw human beings. When was this published? Let's see, 2015. I'm scrolling back down to a part where it's not disturbing for you. Yeah, so this is how I used to draw faces and hands. I mean, the hand isn't terrible because I would use my hand probably, but it looks too small. Her head's giant. Her jaw is too short. And, like, I could go on forever. I mean, it's not the worst start in the world. But, let's see. What page is this? So this was in April. This is actually the exact page I wanted to show you. I started learning anatomy properly. Like, I took a class, but, and so you can tell I'm starting to draw her better. And that was just like a month of it. Like, I literally can't believe how far anatomy goes. But then at the same time, like, what is this? Her knees are inside her calves. And I was trying to draw this perspective. I eventually was like, I just need to move on. I know it looks bad. But there's this weird thing where once you start learning anatomy or something, you get worse because you're like, oh my god, I can see everything I'm doing wrong now, but I don't have the skill to fix it. So, yeah. But then, let's go to... I think by April it was already getting... Okay, no, that's not even good at all. But see, I wasn't using reference, which is also a major problem. Not that I do now. But I feel like all of this stuff is better. Wait, let's move past that page. Hang on. It looks better even though it's not the best digital art in the world, but it still is like, okay, these are human beings. And this was only like a couple months of practice because it was May 2015. But then I actually practiced... Wait, this isn't the right page to show you. Trying to find something. I just feel like you can tell how much my art changed a lot in just 1 year of practicing. All of this to say that it's doable and I believe in you. But yeah, I'm pretty obsessed with these two right now because I just wrote an entire novel about them. Untitled. That is an interesting username. Thank you for showing up. And thanks for saying you love my work. You're not stupid, so don't say that. Thanks for asking, though. My pronouns are he, him. But yeah, I wish I could find a page to show you. Oh, sorry. I forget that this comic is disturbing. I don't know. Maybe you can see what I'm saying, that these pages look better than the other ones, and it was only a year of practice. And I still have a million things that I could say I could fix, but it's fine because it's like a cartoon, and that's all you would need for making a comic. Cartoony bodies. It's acceptable, you know? So yeah. I definitely have not always been decent at anatomy. I don't even... Okay, the last time I showed Webtoon, it just totally exploded the... I said exploded. I think because I said it so much, now it's stuck in my mouth. But because Webtoon just erased the live stream when I showed it on here last time, I can't show you that. But my newer stuff looks better than the last thing I drew on CNS. But after you start practicing a little bit, it'll just... the change will be gradual. It won't happen as fast. Like, you'll still improve, but you might not be able to tell yourself. Like, your friends, art friends, would be able to tell, probably. But if you're the one drawing every day, or however often you draw, I don't know. I don't think you have to draw every day, but... You're switching me to your TV. Oh, heck. I'm gonna be huge. My face is gonna be plastered on the TV. I will try my best not to say explode anymore, just for you. I won't explode your TV. I'm sorry. I don't know if it's because I bumped it or if I set that down, but that was loud. I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't... Let's look at the beginning of what's sexual, too. Oh my god, that thing. Oh yeah, I have to fix because, Webtoon ate my first episode for breakfast one day, and it never gave it back. I know, I did just say it. I'm trying to find something that isn't disturbing to look at. Apparently the whole first chapter is disturbing. What? How does anyone survive what I write? Yeah, let's look at Casey then and now. Trying to find a good example. There we go. Okay. Oh. Fancy. It did exactly what I wanted. Thank you, computer. Here you go. Yeah, that is pretty wild difference, I think. My favorite panel. That has never stopped being my favorite panel. Okay, Jess, I'll check them later. I just realized you couldn't see it properly. Now you can. Ta-da! Let's move my head. Now you can see. I am obsessed with this really ridiculous panel of Casey. But yeah, this is pretty different than from what I used to make. It's pretty strange, honestly. I have a song stuck in my head, but I definitely can't play it right now. I'm absolutely obsessed with Ali X. Does anybody else listen to her music? She does write some songs with Troye Sivan, so that's where the overlap is. But she is like a fellow weirdo for sure, and she has like kind of a dark style, but she's also doing kind of pop, but kind of alternative pop in a way. I am obsessed. But that's what's stuck in my head because that's pretty much all I listen to anymore. Her whole discography got me through this novel in 20 days, apparently, and the end of my last novel. I don't know if I'm gonna start making a series of novels in this universe where energy is like a different function of the body or function of life, I guess. So you'd have like mental, emotional, physical, and energetic. And so in that world, everyone can sense each other's energy. So you can kind of sense people's emotions. It's supposed to be kind of like everyone's souls are connected in a way. But you have control over who you want to connect with and how deeply you want to connect. So that's why it's a romance novel, because they're like learning to trust other people and trust each other with themselves, because that's a vulnerable thing, I guess. But I feel like it is the thing that the LGBT community needs right now. It has like found family, and they're working through things, but they're not like trying to fix each other. They're just helping each other get through it on their own, basically. I'm pretty excited about it. Eleanor says, honestly, that sounds really cool. Thank you. Yeah, the whole novel that I wrote, I mean, you might have seen the characters that I drew. I will show you on my Instagram page. It's from one main character's perspective. Actually, why don't I just show you the actual art? I'll pull it up. It'll take me a extra second. But wait, where did it go? Oh, it's at the bottom. That's because I named it for patrons to be able to see it. That is exactly why. It's not as big as it should be. Okay. Switching over. This is the main character. Uh-oh. Let me make him a little smaller. Oopsie. He uses he, him pronouns, but he's non-binary. And he doesn't like to explain himself. I guess it just wants him to be huge on your screen. So, yeah, it's from his perspective, and he is a life weaver. So that's why if you look closely, I wonder if it'll let me zoom in. Hey, it's trapping me. It's broken. Okay, we're trapped. Just kidding. Oh my god. Okay, I'm closing this. I don't know what's happening. But yeah, if you look, there we go. You can see that he is making the flowers grow faster. He doesn't have to do that, but he gets hired to do that basically, and everyone's on a barter system. So you trade your energy, like your working energy, for whatever else instead of like being paid with money. But that's just the world building stuff. And I could probably just keep going on and on about it. And I'm obsessed with his love interest. Here, I will show you him next. Because he is beautiful. Here you go. Yeah, so then this is Rowan. And then he's a giver, so he has to learn how to not just give. Like, he also has to take energy for himself, basically, too. Like, he has to learn that he deserves getting stuff in return. You can't just give everything away to everybody else, basically. So they kind of help each other learn that type of stuff. But I am obsessed with how pretty he is. He's meant to be super pretty, and he's a trans guy. So, yep. So, yep. Thank you. He's a very pretty boy. That's Alessio, the main character that we hear the novel from. He has had a crush on him for a long time at the start of the novel. So I'm not spoiling anything. Yes, the self and selflessness bounce. Lucas and I were talking about balance earlier this week. Now we've come full circle. But yeah, I have to create a, like, I don't know if anyone's interested in publishing things, but yeah, Cardo, I totally hear that. I feel like a lot of people who are assigned female at birth were taught to be like givers more than takers, if we're talking in these terms. I mean, obviously that's very broad and generalized, but that is a little bit of the culture. But then some people aren't like that. They are just like, I don't know, suck all of the energy out of you, basically. And so he's not like that at all. I'm probably more like what you're saying, like your wife, where they want to just give to the world, but then they don't know how to receive sometimes because of it. But I love him. I'm obsessed with that character. What was I saying? Oh, if any of you are interested in learning how to publish things traditionally, I can tell you how things go, but so far from what I've researched, like I haven't had anything published traditionally yet, so I will keep you updated on how it works. But basically, you can't post your novel anywhere. So don't post it on Patreon, don't post it on like Tapas or anything like Wattpad if you want it to be published. Unless you're self-publishing it, then you can do whatever you want because it's just under your name. But a publisher wants it to be like they're releasing it for the first time because they care a lot about the debut or whatever. So I, for every novel that I've written, have to write basically a one-page advertisement on it, sell myself and my stories to a literary agent who will then sell me and my stories to a publisher, and then a publisher has to decide if they're going to take a chance on me as well. So I'm gonna have to be doing that for, I don't know, I might start with that fantasy story, but you have to write very short advertisement on it, and sometimes it's too complicated to sum up, but you have to. You have to sum it up in less than a page. You have to basically fight with her to be given things. Yeah, then that definitely sounds like my character Rowan. But I made sure that these characters learned and they had a healthy relationship in the meantime. They didn't like, obviously they're not perfect and they're like learning to communicate with each other, but one of my pet peeves in romance novels is that they have misunderstandings, but in the way where it's taken to the extreme. But like, I don't know, I don't like it feels toxic to me because then they're not even communicating what's happening at all. And usually it's super simple, and uh this novel doesn't have that. They're very like, they're trying to be as straightforward as they can with each other. Obviously they're still shy and it takes them a while to talk about stuff, but they're not like weird about it. I don't know if you know what I mean, but if you read a lot of romance novels, it ends up being physically stressful because they'll have a misunderstanding in a way where it's like, I don't know, it just feels like they're unnecessarily rude to each other or emotionally abusive. And I feel like that needs to stop being a trope and stop being a thing in romance novels. So I made sure that this was not like that. Even if there's misunderstandings, they talk about it, and there's not a whole long drawn out thing of emotional pain from your partner withholding from you, weirdly. Um, do I feel like I'm my character's parent? Sometimes, but most of the time, like, I think I feel like I'm their parents for my comics, which is really weird. But if I'm writing a book, I have to literally put my brain into their mindset. So it feels like I'm living multiple people's lives in the story. Like, I try to put myself in their shoes to the point where like, I don't identify with them directly because obviously they're all very different people, but I try to imagine what they would feel like or imagine how their life would be, and it makes me feel more like I'm witnessing them maybe rather than like creating them. Especially because when you write things, it gets really weird. There's always a point where you have your plot in your head or written out, hopefully, and then you're like, oh my god, this character is like their own person, and I know exactly what they would do, but it is not in this plot at all. And then you have to rewrite everything or make it work later on. That happens every single time. But I guess that's why I feel like somehow I'm just witnessing them or living their lives, I guess. Like maybe if you would watch a movie, but it would be more like you're making sure the pieces fall in place to help them, like to help their character develop. I don't know. Yeah, I really enjoy trying to see from other people's perspectives or from different personalities as well. So yeah, because in that story that I was talking about, which I'm sorry I keep saying that story, if you've noticed, I don't have a title. I don't I can't think of a title. I started writing the second book. I finished it and it still doesn't have a title. I finished the first book, not the second one. But yeah, for now I'm just calling it the Life Weaver series because the main character is a Life Weaver. I don't know what I will put as the title because I don't know if I just want to be like Life Weaver, because then would the second one be Giver? I don't know. And then if there's a third one, because usually if you make a second one, everyone's like, you gotta make a third one. Then what would I title that? I don't know. I'll get back to you on what the title is. But with that one, I feel like the main characters have such different personalities, and like, I see pieces of themselves that I can relate to, but other things I definitely can't. So that was pretty fun, actually. Sorry, I've just been talking and talking. I guess that's fine. That's what I came here to do. Not like to the world, but to this live stream. It sounded like to the world. I can't forget that I made such a weird sound. The Giver is taken. Yeah, I feel like I've seen things with that. That's exactly why I didn't want the Life Weaver to be the title. But maybe, like, I was trying to think of something. Maybe we can brainstorm a title together. I was trying to think of something with um, pieces does sound really cool. I was trying to think of something with how their energy, like in this universe, their soul is connected to the energetic flow. And so life weavers can bring souls in and out of that energetic flow. So basically, like, he can ensure that a child can safely, like, their soul can safely enter into the womb before they're born, basically, to, like, and it lessened the amount of um, birth complications, but that means he also has to help people make a peaceful transition. And so I was trying to think of something, like my dad was suggesting flow as a title, but then I was like thinking the word flow could work, but maybe not by itself. Like, but then I don't know if that's weird, because isn't that also, I feel like that has a lot of connotations, the word flow. Like, there's a lot of different things that people call that. It's called the universal flow, basically, is what that's what the universe's energy is called, so everyone comes from that. the gift of the life weaver, soul of the giver, flow of life. Yeah, like something like that. Because I was thinking like the giver's flow, but then I was like, I don't know. The soul, I like the soul of a giver, maybe. Because I feel like this first novel could be a lot, like, the first one is definitely a lot about, like, they both grow a lot, but the second one focuses more on how Alessio grows, the life weaver, and the first one is like the massive change is from Rowan the giver. Ebb and flow, something like that sounds really cool. I really like these ideas so much. I should write them down so that I don't forget also. But yeah, maybe yeah, because I like something like that where it's just a few words in a title for a novel. Because once it gets to be too long, it's too much. But then if it's too short, it feels like it could get confused with other people. I mean, with other novels. And like, titles aren't copyrighted, so you can have the same title as anybody, so that's not a problem. But the problem is more of just advertising. You want your stuff to come up first, so. Yeah. I like something with the word Life Weaver in it. I mean, it is just the Life Weaver series to me now, but let me write down some of the words that I've also said. I'm writing down everything that everybody else wrote so that I can brainstorm off of them. But yeah, the unfortunate part is that, like, once someone does pick up the novel, I won't be able to tell you about it until, like, until it's, like, almost done. But then when you publish something, a publisher picks it up, it takes at least a year. A year is shorter in, I guess, the whole scheme of life. I don't know. And maybe I could find something in it that I've written. Because one of the themes is about, like, creating a sense of home. Like, that's where the found family stuff comes in. And I made sure, like, a lot of my characters do this, so I'm making it kind of a thing, like a signature thing, since we all enjoy it, where they talk about how they're weird compared to other people. So these two are like, they know that they're fellow weirdos with us, basically, from another universe. If your book gets published, would you draw your own cover art? I so want to. I don't know if it's allowed, but I'm going to try to get them to allow me to, because the ones that I already drew, I feel like is kind of looks like a book cover in a way. Like, I would not mind using them as a book cover. But I do have, actually, in the novel, there's a painting, a particular painting that they see, and it's very important. So I was thinking of doing that as the cover. And then by the end of the story, you'd be like, oh my god, that's the painting. Because it's near the end that they finally see it. It's based off of something that happens in the book, and someone paints it, basically. Thinking is Lucas's sugar high. I love that. The scheme of life. That's interesting too. I mean, it probably has to have something to do with energy or life, right? And I like the word weaver. Rowan calls Alessio Weaver, like, as a nickname. could also be called give and take, but I don't know. I have to think about this. I'm probably just thinking about it too much. That's why it hasn't been named yet. But I made another one, like, I started another story that was in the same universe where the two main characters are protectors. Like, that is their purpose, quote unquote, with a capital P. So in the Life Weaver story, life weaving is Alessio's purpose, for example. So everyone finds their purpose, but then they also over-identify with their purpose in life when they're also like their own separate people, and so that's a theme too. But in the protector one, I feel like it's just wild. Like, it doesn't have the same homey feel. It just has like two messes of a characters being hilarious and getting themselves into deep shit. Basically. But they help each other out. I'll think of something. My dad actually thought of the name Resonance too. Weaver of Souls. Yeah, I really like that. Gift of the Weaver Soul, Weaver of Change. Oh, that's cool. Weaver of Change. I should just credit Lucas with my titles and just use them all. But I like everything that everyone has suggested. I think maybe I've just sat with it for so long that it just becomes harder and harder to sum it up. Oh, that's a good idea, Cardo. Life weaving, the purpose of, so then every time it could be like the purpose of whatever main character or something. Yeah, that would be kind of cool, like the Weaver's soul or something. I like how everyone suddenly understands this weird universe that has only been in my head. Everyone here, at least. Weird in a good way. I really I feel like this is a comfort novel where it is kind of comforting how the characters can just see each other's emotions because they're more open about it, but then they still like even tell each other they have to say it out loud. You can't just like assume everybody knows. Sorry about the woofs. Sometimes you do need fresh eyes, it's true. There was some woofage going on. Yeah. Uh, I'll come back with an idea, but I like this brainstorm. You all have given some good, like, we've thrown some good words around. But for Resonance, it took me so long to name it also. And then my dad was like looking up cool scientific terms about space. And that was one of them. But it also really worked with something in the story, which we haven't gotten to yet. And sometimes I think the title, What Sexual, is very odd. But that's okay. Kind of works for how it is. It fits. Before your strokes, you used to write a lot. Oh, I'm sorry. It's hard when illness takes things away that you love to do. Is it easier for you to talk them out? Like, I know some people who literally speak into their phones and then it types their novel. Okay, it's hard to keep a train of thought. Yeah, that is really hard then. That's definitely how, like, similar to how I feel about dancing. Because every time I get back into it, I have a crash, and if I use my ab muscles, it makes my everything worse. So it can be really frustrating or difficult when it's like you have something you love to do, but you can't do it. I don't think a lot of people get that unless you've gone through some type of illness. Um, Odd, but it's drawn 40k eyes. It's true, which I still can't believe. So thank you all again. I have tried to say it a few times during this, but that is the point of this weird internet party right now. That we reached 40,000 fellow weirdos on What Sexual. That is amazing. It's pretty unbelievable. It is easier to talk it out. There's computer software. Yeah, I feel like even just the microphone on like your keyboard on a smartphone has gotten better at like writing down the correct words that you're trying to say, because for a long time it did not do that very well. But it still can be pretty hard even with some things for accessibility. So I get that too. But yeah, let's see. How long have we been streaming? Almost 2 hours. How are you all feeling? Should we end it at 2 hours? Is there anything you want to talk about still? I didn't think of an embarrassing story, but I created one. It still doesn't work with accents. Okay, yeah, that's really dumb. Also very racist, but of course it is because it's Apple. They're listening to me say that right now. But they still won't do anything about it. The shirt is too big for me. It keeps like drifting all the way over to the side. But yeah, I mean, I think it's absolutely ridiculous how. Say explode more. Okay. I think it's absolutely ridiculous how um, people like don't prioritize accessibility until they need it themselves. And then with all of the technology we have that's making things easier for people to do, like people still won't take the time to make things accessible for people with disabilities. That makes my mind explode. That's where I was going with that. In a bad way. Not a good type of brain explosion like the one Lucas was having when we were brainstorming. A brain explosion. The bad kind. One thing that hasn't exploded today is my internet connection. Because I'm hooked up directly to the Ethernet this time. We are not doing that another way any longer, ever again. It ruined the birthday thing, and it ruined all the other live stream things. Yeah, that sounds really challenging. It was very upsetting. That's why, like, the phones that had like the like a flip phone or something would probably, but then when it was like a full keyboard, a mini keyboard, like at least you could feel where everything is on the keyboard. But like now there's not even a front button on the screen, so it's like you don't know if you're on the home page or not, or I don't know. And then like text readers are just, they're okay from what people I've read people say. But yeah, it's definitely tricky if you have brain fog, or it's very difficult to concentrate on things, because I don't know what the solution is for that. I did enjoy your brain explosion. It's getting me to think. And now I have a list of things, except on the front side is part of my timeline from my original version of CNS, which has changed. That story is very dark, by the way. I feel like people just don't even remember that I write things that are very dark. Like, when you think of what I write, is that how you feel? I mean, I guess there's elements of dark things, but then I used to think, like, oh, I could call what sexual dark romance. But then recently I was reading someone say, like, call stuff a dark romance that was, like, abusive. Like, apparently that's a term for abusive romance stories. I was like, what? Why? Why does that need to be a genre? Okay. I think my brain is running out of things to talk about, unless I just keep talking to you about my stories and just going on and on and on. Let me think of what else I could update you on. Elements of life, yes. That sounds pretty cool too. There's a weird sound. I hope there's no... I think it was just paper settling in my trash can. It sounded like there was like a bug or something. But anyway, okay. For February, I'm not sure if I might post once on Webtoon, but I'm probably going to take a hiatus on Patreon. I warned patrons about this. I have to decide on it by tomorrow, so I will tell you on Patreon again. But if that is the case, I will try to make more YouTube videos also, once I'm feeling up to it. And I'm going to create a comic buffer because I don't have pages to post. um, but other than that, I don't have any other updates. I'm just writing, and I will try to keep updated with everybody because I miss all of you. We should do more of these live streams. Does Saturday work for everybody, or is this like a weird time? Maybe I did it too early, I don't know. But yes, that's the other thing. I will come back with a title for this story for reals this time. I've been saying that since like November. But I really will. I really will do it. That can be one of my February goals. I guess I just stopped thinking about it after I finished it. You liked the time. Okay, cool. Noted. Because I feel like we did it on a live stream last time at like the same time that we started. But yeah, everyone probably has to eat dinner or something soon, so I think that I'll have to go in a second. But it was really fun talking to everybody. I had a good time. I embarrassed myself after I was asked to share an embarrassing story, which I think somehow worked out. Your schedule's chaotic. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people don't have a set schedule as much. Like I don't anymore. But okay, again, thank you all so much for 40K on What Sexual. That's pretty unbelievable. And I mentioned this earlier in the stream, but every time we hit one of these milestones, it's pretty crazy because this is a comic with the main character who is trans, and that's why people flag the first episode all the time and it always gets taken down. But there are that many people who support it still, which I think is amazing. So thank you for being some of those people. Yes, I have to see what the woofs were about. Probably take the old lady doggo out to pee. And eventually make food too. And finish this novel since I'm on the literal last scene. Which is so trippy. But thank you all for coming and chatting. It's always a fun time with our fellow weirdos. And exploding, apparently. YouTube's gonna like block this video just because I said the word exploding 50 billion times. But yeah, so thanks for coming, Cardo. Bye, Lucas. Bye, Piggy Pay. Who else is still here? I don't know, but I saw Entitled earlier. And Jess, thanks for coming. And Perpond. And Lamar Surrender. And multiple other people. It was very fun seeing everybody here again, and I'm very appreciative that you all come back, even if I haven't posted in a while. So I hope you're all hanging in there and staying healthy where you can. I will see you very soon. Is everybody good? We good? Thank you for being weird with us, says Cardo. Thank you for being weird with me. And everyone taught me what a long Furby was today, so I did learn something new today. Thank you for that. Bye. Bye, everybody. I'll see you next time. I'll come back soon, and I will record something. It will probably be weird.